Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the first time, and welcome back, and thank you to everybody who's been following me on this journey, where I started in 2019 stating out loud for my New Year's resolution that I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video every week telling you guys how fear, shame, and guilt was not breaking up with me. It's a stalker. And 2020 was to be kinder and more compassionate to myself and others, which I'm still working on. 2021 was to break up with processed sugar, which you guys, I don't know where I got processed sugar from, but I knew I had a problem with sugar, and I thought if I just broke up with that would be the end of that one too. It doesn't work that way either. And then 2022 was to attach an income to what it is that I do. And I keep thinking I have to attach myself to an income instead of, I'm starting to redirect and refocus that and start thinking an income needs to attach itself to me. And why I think I have to work so hard to get everything, that I have to like hunt it down, kill it, and beat it to get it. And what I keep finding out is that is not true. Actually doing the opposite helps. Like stopping and taking a break and taking a pause. And you know, I've been telling you guys what this process has been like for me, and I didn't know how to stop. I didn't know how to take a break, and I didn't know how to take a pause. I just knew that I needed to do more, to be more, to keep going, and eventually I couldn't anymore. My body started with physical pain in my body first, and that's how this process started for me, of the being able to slow down, to take a break, to pause. I was physically sick, and it was coming out in my body first. And like everyone else, like everything else I did, is I ignore stuff. I ignore it and I hope it goes away. But what I keep finding out is ignoring things doesn't make them go away. What happens is they get bigger and louder and more noticeable for me until I start paying attention to it. So I've been sharing with you guys, I was in a car accident in 2019, and that was my God taking me out of where I was at, because I physically could not do it anymore. I could not do my job anymore. I couldn't lift my arms. I was a hair colorist, hairdresser, mostly hair color, but I couldn't lift my arms anymore. I have plates and screws in my neck and in my back, and I ended up being injured above my surgery, below my surgery, and all across my thoracic as a result of this accident. And I could no longer go back to physical work anymore. So when that first happened to me, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, Michelle, I wouldn't go back to work if I were you. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go back and try anyway, because I work by myself. I worked for myself. I'm not married. I don't have a husband. I don't have anybody to fall back on So I went to work, and the day I knew I couldn't do it anymore, I got up and felt, I heard God speak to me, and I've heard God speak to me over and over again, but I've ignored that too. And I heard that God does not want me to hurt or harm myself for money or for any other reason. And I felt this tremendous amount of peace just come over me. And I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm done. And even though I felt that tremendous amount of peace in that moment, and I knew it was the right thing for me, that fear started to creep back over and over again. I had that feeling, that peace, and I'm gonna be okay. And then it started to creep back in when the money I had saved, I had to use up. And then I had money saved in case I needed a backup to my backup. And I had to use that too. And it wasn't enough. And then I'm like, okay, now what? And the fear kept coming back and coming back. And you guys, I lived without an income for over 20 months. And my credit is not ruined, and I am not homeless. And I had to seek out support financially, which was one of the hardest things I had to do, because I went from wanting people to rescue and take care of me to I don't need any help at all, and I can do this on my own and by myself. And what I found out, either way wasn't good, but somewhere in the between is okay. And coming to that middle of that has been the hardest road on this journey for me. And I've been sharing with you guys about having depression, and I've had it my whole life, but that too I ignored, and it got bigger and louder because I didn't want to be lazy. And taking care of myself first, I used to think was me being selfish. And I'm learning that I can take care of myself and I can help other people. I can do both. It doesn't have to be all one way or all the other. And I started my third antidepressant medicine yesterday. So I'm on the Effixor, the generic version. So only 3 antidepressants so far to find which is the right one for me. And I have to tell you, I never knew this because I was never on antidepressants for depression that I knew of. I was on them for nerve pain, for chronic pain, for other things, but never like antidepressant. And I have to tell you, they take away your sex drive, which I didn't know. I'm not currently having sex, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if I ever have sex again when I'm on these antidepressants. So that's a side effect of this. And I'm hoping maybe there's one that doesn't have that and agrees with me, and I don't know yet. So everything is a trial and error, and I am, a recovering alcoholic, a recovering adult child of dysfunction, and a recovering food addict. And I'm a little over 7 months addressing my food abstinence, my food addiction, which is, my first addiction, the first thing I ever found to comfort me, besides my pillowcase that I tickle the corner, besides that is my anxiety, and that is me calming myself, but it's everything I found outside of myself to calm myself. So I think food was the first tangible thing that I could actually stuff in my body to not feel. And I am no longer numbing myself with work, with food, with drugs or alcohol, with codependency. And codependency is either looking to have somebody rescue me and take care of me, or going to rescue and take care of somebody else, like trying to cushion the blow for them or trying to find them to cushion the blow for me. So this is the first time in my life that I don't have a child, a dog, a job, a husband, somebody to take me out of my situation. And I have realized is no one is coming to save me. God is there to help me, but I have to save myself. And I've been learning how to do that one day at a time. And it is not easy, by the way. I cleaned my house, I want to tell you guys, since last time I talked to you. And what I was able to do is I cleaned the downstairs one day, couldn't do anything the next day, cleaned the middle floor on the third day, took the next day off. And on the fifth day, I finished. Did I say third floor? Or I did the second floor on the third day, and the third floor on the fifth day. So I cleaned my house, which is huge. And I didn't put my tree up yet. I'm still not feeling it. And I don't know if I'm going to this year. The other thing that just happened that is so huge and I am so affected by is Twitch, who was the DJ on Ellen, who did all of these joyful dance fun videos. I didn't know him personally, but I felt like I did. And to hear about his suicide was so devastating for me. And thinking that we should all be well right now. And I have a lot of help and support, and I'm still not well. So I don't want to say I'm terrible, I'm horrible, but with all the support that I have, it's still really hard. So I can't imagine not having support right now. We have just been through a pandemic, the first time in our lives. We lived through something that has never happened before. A lot of trauma has come up for a lot of people. Our masks were ripped off of us, whether we wanted them to or not. And some people had to put the mask back on, and I totally get that. It's a metaphor, some of it physically. During the pandemic, I could not wear that mask. I only wore it when I absolutely had to, because I have felt suffocated my entire life, and I can finally breathe now, and I don't want to lose that. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching me. Please stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all next week. Oh, I'm thinking of my New Year's resolution, and I'm going to reveal that next week of what it is. So thanks for letting me tell this to all of you, and thanks for watching.